Let's ride!
Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. Where could Master Child be? This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it? It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it. Frost is coming! This is where the water... The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here. I have to push on. That's right.
Miss Cloran!
Miss Cloran.
You're still too weak for Miss Lynette is right. I'm...
A guest? Then I can assume Rise...
You should ask His Grace about... Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. What?
No, please go on without...
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but...
Understood. In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you.
Thank you.
Excuse me!
I take it Mr. Fremenes...
Of course!
I've been expecting those two, but my...
I wanted to check up on Miss...
Mostly fine.
If you don't mind.
All right. Thank you.
Well, want to
Of course. Where should I begin? No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even...
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept. Initially, I thought their goal was just... Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape. But in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did. Of course, it's inevitable that the knave would make... I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let...
So you were hoping...
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as... The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began...
Are the rumors true?
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving...
Oh, right. But...
Me, of course. I paid her... As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent...
And saving
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite That's not something you should be asking after. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had...
But...
You make a compelling case.
Yeah, Paimon...
Even if the truth may not be pleasant. Follow me.
Door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, right?
It seems you've forgotten just what kind... Stand on this...
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! What a huge door!
There are 3... Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your...
Well...
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole...
Propagate! Huh. So there's a switch on the side...
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one...
Go on, have a... I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential... The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past... Normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it. Very reasonable guesses. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely... Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential... Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the
The concentration of...
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're... Yes.
But forget about the two of us. Not... Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, if this continues... Yeah, you know what the legends say.
But that's just too weird!
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten. There's no single founder of the fortress. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals... The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon... And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Arc. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress, and with that, the people here stopped referring. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was... Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered soul... After many centuries, now and again, researchers managed to break one law or another.
But now you know every part of that.
Indeed. It's just, to be frank, not really. Prophecies are troublesome things. Let's go somewhere else.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The result—
Wait, Jurier, he's not—
Huh?
No need to panic, you two.
What? After you warned us—
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they?
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers. Good. Say, Edwin's main areas of research were...
You...
What a lovely idea.
Gotta admit,
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question.
if I dated her, I'd officially—
Jeez, forget I said. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do it.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge... This is also a production zone that Paimon's
How much do you know?
Well,
then maybe you haven't heard the story. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the Seer Sabi. He called his nation Lemur.
There's a ship in this...
Where there's water, there'll be ships.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to...
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians needs were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, as the fortresses had been... Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my Seems like you're good. I'll leave you.
Oh!
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just...
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for...
Great.
Carving way!
Welcome back.
How can you be so much—
While I was sedated, I could still barely hear
Must have been Risley.
Yeah, I heard one male voice.
I really.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to
Yeah, he explained—
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculation? Yeah, I took the time to rest.
Nobody else is around, and Miss.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself three. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater?
Woo!
That's our list.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring, what's more, the Fortress of Meripede is. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, if I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on.
You're super—
If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the. That can't be the full I don't have enough information.
Let's see.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father.
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. The two of you have already aided us far too. If you ever need anything, though you may not.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered.
why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Then we'll catch you guys.
Time for dinner.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner? Huh. What would you like to eat?
Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too, don't forget.
No problem.
So delicious. Paimon's so
Feeling full yet?
How's delicious?
I'm
Sijuin?
a bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you...
Really? You're reminded of an older sister?
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office?
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver. Thankfully, Clorand is very... Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been his Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Miss... Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard. Paimon Super... delicious.
Out of my way! Get what happened? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Let's ride! What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey! What are you doing?
There's no time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey! What's wrong with these people?
They're here! Yeah! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something... Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut...
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, up?
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What, hey?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible. Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as...
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Traveler, I need you to help. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina. Will do.
Off we go. Let's ride! Need a surfboard? Off we go. Faster! Look! There are a ton of Fatilian Palais Mermonia people. Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I've already prepared seats for you.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to see this. This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. I wonder how he's doing nowadays.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked...
Oh, so you're also familiar. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But
but I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been...
Well, in any...
Oh.
Because...
And where did he go? The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he... Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me...
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long...
Hold on.
I suppose this is also...
Huh?
Have we entered into the next stage?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right.
Let me guess. We're...
Indeed.
I win this.
Very well.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by...
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons...
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be out...
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested.
That was obvious. Anyway, you've still got some
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter.
Thank you. I hope everything went smooth.
I'm Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon,
What are you trying?
at this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomat. Yet, here you are, the prophecies hanging above our neck, but you?
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy.
I am not alone in my Oh, great.
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Fontaine will be saved.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what...
My machinations are just like...
I see. As a god, the proof of your allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be...
and...
Oh, that...
The emergency...
Then allow me to jog your memory. And what do you plan to do with the massive...
the oratory?
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the oratrice in the Opera House. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly... Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is...
Yeah, yes.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss... Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf... You too.
Thank you. Oh,
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored. It is getting late.
Very well.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use...
Paimon's coming.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought!
You lent your aid to the children. That was all. Formal topics. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax.
They've all been working very hard.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. By the way, and you can just you are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able...
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master...
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Forget it. I will be meeting some...
Do you require help with any...
No need. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run...
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the champ... Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But... it's just as I guessed in the second before I... In fact, this Archon doesn't seem...
Who are you?
The fear in her pupils is genuine. So perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way... I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassin. Not long after, there's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I have...
Yes, Father.
My dear children.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts...
Probably the handiwork...
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the... Set up a meeting for me. Oh, and I have an
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a... The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Linny... It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the... I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon... Of course, that is all. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after... Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly.
Nevertheless...
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that... Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back... So as expected, the permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real... You can't...
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her position. I believe so. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us.
Huh? Why is it...
You may be closer to the...
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so...
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right.
You guessed correct.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's still something...
Please.
Well, if you are the dragon then since Fontaine's prophecy is all of...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's...
There are 7 elemental archons.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappeared. Given the status quo, however, I would
Oh.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my...
Please go right ahead. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Let's ride.
Need a surfboard? Faster!
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
A bare-teeth cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from an A.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clorand in person.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all. She also told me not to worry about it.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were,
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Mm-hmm. Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
Huh. That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
You can only do so much on your own, but with a group, anything's possible. Ever tried chasing waves before? You wanna try? Well, come on, no time like the present. I'll help you find the closest beach.
You guys are back?
You guys didn't get caught.
Huh? No!
And here I thought you'd managed.
We're sorry, but we just had...
All right. There's no need to get caught up in...
Hey, it wasn't just me.
Something like that, yeah. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever...
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying.
These two, they sure are alone.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to...
Carving waves! Off we go.
Traveler, Paimon, are you still doing all right?
We're fine, but what about you?
A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent. Oh, of course,
How did Nervalet know that
Well, Miss sure Nervalet has strong resonance with the high... I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a... If you're not, just let me know if you get a craving for any... I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time...
Grab yourself a welfare meal.
Faster!
Jurier?
Yeah,
That's no excuse for...
Junior, Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the
And you? Are you still...
Yep.
It can be a bit annoying.
I mean, the infirmary does...
Oh, yeah?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your...
Not at all!
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds blowing of late.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still alright?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea.
He sure sounds...
Miss Clorand has left as well.
Where are the gifts?
Neuvillette got the milkshake.
Those are...
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about... Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Are these from...
Nope, they're from... You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the
For real? Then we could stay here?
You may access... Just remember to come complete your paperwork.
Let's ride! Carving waves! We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners, though, so it really doesn't feel the same. Sure feels that way. But the truth is, we never did anything bad to begin with, so I'm not sure why we put so much pressure on ourselves. You know. Hey, that's not... It's like, we've now gone to so... There are so many bad things in the world. You're counting Paimon today? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventure... just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial seawater nearly rose up. That was so scary. We should be safe now, right? Alright then, good night to you, Traveler!